Hello, and good evening, everybody. You are back with Simon and I on Good Tuesday night for our wonderful little classroom group together. We're going to have Simon and I are going to talk about a bunch of different stuff. But Simon, what are you up to? What have you been doing? And how you been, brother? I haven't seen you in a week.
I know, right? We've been on the phone a lot. I've been on the phone a lot, having great discussions with a lot of people. Great questions out there that people are talking about. I wanted to reiterate a couple things because I kind of noticed that the majority of the conversations that I had with individuals over the course of the past week had almost similar questions. But there are almost everybody that I also talk to are about on that same level of where they're at in their IBC journey as well. So, but I did want to address a few things. I'm doing well, and I've also recently, I'm revisiting my budget as I have found it's good for me to do, and just to see if there's any extra pennies floating around out there, because now I got a real awesome place to stick them, as opposed to save it for later. Save it. It's not really save. It's put it aside for later use. It's not really savings, but I'll go into savings later. Yeah, man. How are you? You sound kind of hoarse there. You've been talking a lot.
Yeah, you might say that. Awesome. Which is something I really want to address. Okay. Let's see how I can put this.
Okay.
We are not consultants. We are guys who do a little school, and we help you figure out what we've learned, and you guys help us and we help you. And it's a great process. What I'm really up to more than anything else is getting to know and meet the people that have been watching my show for all of these years. And now they have a great reason to call me, talk to me. Hey, what's going on? And I finally have an avenue for them to get a hold of me and ask all those questions. You know, many of the questions that aren't always about IBC or trust. Many of them are about, hey, you said something on a show 2 years ago, man, and it's been in my mind. Like the phone calls aren't like exactly 5 minutes long, but there is no consulting fee. I don't believe in it. We haven't done it that way. You're here to talk to me. I'm here to tell you what I know about stuff. I'm not giving financial advice. We're talking as friends. And then if you want to go further with some of this stuff, then I can hand you to not only just Simon, I can hand you to JV and potentially Scott and some other people down the road. But when I talk to you, I'm just talking as a friend. And there's so many people that are like, oh, wow. Hey, what do I do about my taxes from 1985? I'm like, whoa. No, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just telling you you can get it from people that I trust and people that I know and people that I have a relationship with. And so that you and I and the individual that I'm setting you up with can form a team in which you have recourse. You have somebody to call and say, hey, Alan, this person didn't treat me right. What's happening here? What do we know? And that is so important to me, because that's why we set up this community. That's why you and I do this educational night. And there's going to be more educational nights coming up about trusts in the future. So this show, obviously, on Tuesday night will cover that as well to some degree. But we're going to dedicate another night to mainly just trust. So
perfect.
Those of you, awesome. In the future, we'll be doing both. So.
Ta-da.
So saying that, there's email address that you can get me at alstaple.com. That's a good one. You can also get me alanstaple@gmail.com. And both of those are ways that you can get a hold of me. And if I think that, you have something going on and you need bigger questions answered than the ones I have, I can direct you to this fine gentleman on the screen, or another gentleman, or if you want something to do with a trust, I'm putting a team together that's really going to help you out with the trust questions too. So
It's good.
Simon, what do you,
Yes, sir.
are you enjoying speaking with the people as well, or what?
I am.
It's fun, huh?
Something that it is. It's wonderful to engage. I have had a few experiences, probably not as many as you, but I've been watching you for X amount of months, X amount of years, and man, you said this one thing and it resonated with me. I'm getting a few of those. That's I really like that. Even a few people in my neck of the woods, in my state. It's nice to. I have met a couple people. I've met a couple people from the state, from my time with you on this channel and other channels. So that's been it's been good as well, and it's been great to. I mean, I've connected with some of the people as well that are in the chat, even tonight. GA, man, much love to you. Doing very well. There's Mike Hawk, Vegas baby. Yeah, Mike Hawk.
Right.
It's been really good because I really love solutions, like finding a solution to and custom. It's kind of like you and your square back or your square trucks that you like from the mid 70s or late 70s, right? And you want to do the LS swaps, right? Right. So it's like taking that with financial products and moves and all this good stuff, right? It's so much fun. And the hands stay clean. They're not as greasy. But I'm not afraid to get dirty. I've done my time as wrenching, but wrenching on cars. But yeah, it's like that. I love hearing where people are at. And even then I'm still like, I too have come across a few people. Hey, I have my no.
Yeah.
Little, some, a lot. That's it. Keep it simple, man. I don't need to know all the zeros. I really don't. Keep that for yourself. I don't want to be in some situation later where that comes up. So please keep the digits to yourself. But
tell me,
there are other ways to communicate the volume of stuff that we're talking about or that you're talking about, and through those communications, we can certainly chat about strategies and get you going in the right direction, or at least the right space to keep on learning. Hey, think of it like this.
Yeah,
this might help you if that's working for you. So I've had a lot of that too. Yeah, I definitely have.
Let's see. Mike had a good question in here, Simon.
Mike. Yeah.
What do we got?
He met us in Vegas Thursday night.
Mike was there Thursday night?
Yeah. Pretty sure Mike was there.
He didn't meet you.
I'm elusive.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Nobody knows your face, right? Like,
yeah, this is DGI.
At the XRP show, the first year I could get around, not too problem. Last year, it's tough to get to meet somebody deeply. It's like it's a handshake, a couple of minutes, because you meet a lot of people all at the same time, and it's not the best way to meet people, but yeah, we hung out and chatted as much as possible. Yeah.
The Samoan guy, I'm pretty sure he wasn't hard to pick out. Probably average Samoan, 6'2" up, 3 feet horizontal, and nothing but pick up a semi truck with one hand.
Yeah, if I remember him, he met us at the top of the stairs. I want to say we were shooting a video with Quincy up there.
Quincy, okay,
yeah,
that's probably why we didn't meet, because I went around that. I saw you guys working. I was like, well, I'm not gonna bother them right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I met him. I don't know. I met so many people that weekend. So
you said another question? Yeah, there it is.
It's a great question. Okay, Simon, what type of whole life policies are we into?
We are specifically into dividend paying whole life insurance policies with mutual participating dividend paying companies. We are using the experience of authorized IBC practitioners, and that is a real thing that know this infinite banking concept. They are still people, so what they know plus their experience and how they're applying it is going to be different, right? There's always a different tool for a different job, and as we were talking about just a little bit before, we're all custom. We're all going to have little tiny things that we're just a little different way than the next guy or gal out there. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. It's very well, you said the two words. It's mutual whole life.
Yeah. Now, Alan, pop. Okay. A pop quiz, hot shot. What's the benefit that policyholders receive for being with a mutual company?
Well,
and why? And
yeah,
why?
yeah. In principle, they basically are a owner of, or a mutual ownership is put into place, that you are not just a client. You share in the profits and the proceeds of the annual returns to whatever degree, however size that you have, which are paid in dividends out to you. Those are the two biggest things, but I'm sure there's many other good things, reasons to have a mutual life insurance.
Yeah.
I know this, IULs don't do that. So that's one reason why you wouldn't want an IUL, in my opinion, but that's me. What other reasons would you say there
are? There's a little bit more of a mutual understanding between all parties. It's very
great
even
point.
kill, right? We're getting. I feel like I'm getting to experience what the owner of a stock company or stakeholder would get. Right? We're all together. We're all have this plan. This is kind of where we're going in general. We all get a little scratch per se, and it's very beneficial to really us as opposed to anybody else. These mutual companies are really, like Nelson talks about in the book, they're the hired help. They're handling all the administrative stuff, all the investing that they do. They're taking care of all of that. They are the hired help. You are the owner. And I'll tell you what, that actually really makes me feel really good, especially when it's in a contract, not just somebody's word, because our word doesn't sometimes, this day and age doesn't carry as much weight as it does. The contract does, though. That's written word. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the word in a handshake is still very much out there, but it just gives it just a little bit more assurance, I guess.
That's
for me.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. You just brought up a really good point that kind of triggered something in my thought process. That mutual meaning, mutual desires to profit. They're kind of on your side. They're Absolutely. Trying to look out for, let's all make a dividend out of this and pay you. Yeah. And some of these companies have been paying, I don't know, hundreds of years. I've even heard statistics that these companies even paid dividends during, the Great Depression and downturns in the market, and they still made money. Maybe not near as much, but they still paid you a dividend, and that's huge.
The big point. They still paid a payment. Still went out to you. Like, yeah, right. I don't know anywhere else that you can get that. I really don't. I'm 45 years old. I'm halfway there, so to speak. So, but so far I haven't found anything else.
Yeah, we had a kind of a show question tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and hit it with you. This is kind of triggering it. Simon, who is, okay, first of all, I'm going to answer the question. No, okay, 60 years old is not too old. 60, because I'm older than 60, is the new 25. But I I I think you're as old as you feel, and I don't think it's ever too. I don't think it's ever too late. I don't care how old you are to understand this concept. This is what I
Amen.
this is what I don't like about other life insurance angles, if you will, or products.
Products.
This
Yeah.
is this is more about educating you on how
Mm.
you can use a contract to become your own bank, to use your money the way you choose to use it. And then it teaches you how to use money. So even if you're 70 years old, you could teach your grandkids or your kids how to use this whole process. That's what I really like about it. So when I believe it was Mike Hawk said, "Oh, well, you don't like IULs." I don't like IULs for that reason. This is a concept. Not that you couldn't do this with an IUL, you could. You can't do it to this degree, which leads me back to it being a mutual. That mutual thing means that they know what you're doing with it and they're okay with it. And it's set up that way because they know that you're making money with it and you're doing your thing and you want to become your own bank with it. And we understand how you're using our products and we're in favor of it to some degree, right? So
Mhm.
being 60, 70, 80 years old just means that you learn a new trick. You're not too old to learn something new.
That you can pass on to your offspring and their offspring.
That's
Like, like, uh, Rich Man in Babylon. Okay.
yeah,
I'm sure you're familiar with it, but there's a story where the richest man in Babylon gives his son a bag of gold and then the 10 laws of gold. Okay, and uh, and says, "Go out into the world. I'll see you in 10 years. Let's see what you can build." Okay, and really the moral of the story is what was more valuable. Well, the gold wasn't as valuable as the wisdom of how to keep it, grow it, etc. The laws of gold, right? That he was given.
yeah,
Really great story in contract and perspective. But I know you really can't see it that well. But this book right here, ladies and gentlemen, this book right here, this is the clay tablet in the richest man of Babylon. This is the wisdom of someone who's done it, taught it to multiple people across this country and also up in Canada. I know that the practitioners are up there too. And now the disciples of this, the students are now some of these teachers and they're out there, but this right here, this is where
yeah,
the wisdom is. So this is something that you can pass on. And when you pass it on, it's dead certain. No ifs, ands,
yeah,
or buts about it.
right,
I'm glad you
yeah.
brought that up.
And your age will be considered in your policy. So
Yeah.
it's all to them to decide, but you can also get a policy for your kids or grandkids or whatever along the lines, whatever works best for you. And so I, I'm not saying everybody should do this, but I'm not, we were going to talk about that next, right? Like, well, who wouldn't want to do something like this?
Mm.
Did you say, Simon?
Well,
What category? Who is this
uh,
not for?
very wealthy. Very
The
wealthy.
very wealthy?
Yeah. Already established from what I know in this process. Let's just take it from the book and Nelson's perspective, which is his story,
Okay.
his journey. Okay. What is the first quality that he had what is the first issue that brought him to this process? He was
Yeah.
in trouble financially. He was
Yeah.
$500,000 in debt, 62,000 of interest that he had to pay. I think I want to say yearly, could have been monthly, but I'm pretty sure it was yearly. 62 grand, and that's back in like the 80s. The late 70s, early 80s. 62 G's, man. That's a
It's
lot of dough, right?
yeah.
So and so he needed a way out, a stable way out, and it took him 13 years to get there. So if you got debt, that works, and there's more to it than that. Not just, hey, I got debt, I qualify. No, there's more to it than that. But I would say individuals that that are already established, and I really do mean established in how your finances are already set up. An example that I've seemed to kind of come across. You used to sell them back. You said you sold annuities back in the day, right?
Yeah.
If you're already set up with a system there, you could probably scrape some over. But is this really for you? Have you already got stuff set in play to where you've already got other contracts, wills, etc., ready to execute the passing on of items? And it might be a big challenge to undo that fast, get those funds over here into this vehicle. I mean, you're
Yeah.
really switching cars at this point, right? But
No,
that's
that's right.
that's a population of this when the rest of us, I mean, literally off screen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know what? You know, the opposite end of that, and we could talk about in a minute who is this for, but really, there's only a select few who this really isn't for.
I think if you're in a retirement home, yeah, probably don't need this. Yeah.
No,
Hospice,
no,
short
yeah,
of that, you probably, well, if you're underage, you should learn about it for sure. But you could work with grandpa or grandma or your parents, and you could learn what this means, and you would not be a debt slave the rest of your life.
mm-hmm.
That would be the power of this. If you could teach your kids, your children, if you could find when we were talking about this last night, but it's so important. Like, let's say you have two grandkids, right? And one of them is, Johnny's just playing with the ball all day. He just wants to kick a soccer ball all day. But little
Right,
Mary or Susie is like so studious and just loves it. And she understands money and she wants to learn more. And she has a bank account and she knows where every dotted I is and all of it, and very studious. That could be the boy too. I mean, I'm not just saying, but it could be, but it's less likely. But that right there is the individual that would catch on to this, because that person would not be, okay, misguided or lost in the current banking system in which we've all grown up in. They're before it. And you could teach them this before they got all those bad habits that you and I got, like thinking interest rates are all that important, or thinking that bank is the first thing you do paycheck.
hi, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to touch on something. You just triggered something on me. Side note, real quick, Greg Shannon, news alert: John Deaton has just been declared winner in the GOP primary, Massachusetts. Congratulations, Mr. John Deaton. Way to go.
No way.
Wait. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Look, Greg Shannon is putting it up there. 8:42 Eastern. John Deaton has just been declared winner in GOP primary, Massachusetts.
Okay. That just means he's in a battle with her. But yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's
Because,
but now it's
right.
toe to toe, right? That's
Right,
it.
yeah.
It's those two,
Because
right?
they had that other implant guy named who was yeah, right. They had the guy that did he was a Democrat, but he was a Republican, and they were sponsoring him, if I remember correctly, trying to run against John Deaton. Okay, cool. Well, he's halfway there.
John. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's great.
He's halfway there.
Now the real battle begins. That's awesome. Thank you for that, Greg. Alan, you were triggering something there on a couple of things where you're talking about you got two grandkids. The boy's not really a saver, but the girl is. The saver is really going to get it. They're going to have a mind for it. But the late bloomer, they're going to catch on and they're going to go exponential. They too. It's like, that's the great thing about this. Some catch it fast, some catch it slow, but everybody catches it. And like Justin Kraft said when we were down in Alabama, he says, once you catch it, you own it. It's yours. You can't lose it. It's there.
That's
Done.
right.
And I mean, and that's so very true. there was another point that I was going to try to kind of make there. Oh, you were talking about the, teaching the young ones how to do this. Um, and you also kind of mentioned that, you could do this process without these policies. You're 100% true. And I've done that myself. You know, read this and just remove the insurance policy from the process. Okay. You can do this in your own house, real time, and just do it with cash. I'm telling you, I've done it before. It's been a wonderful blessing, and it's got me to where I'm at right now, which is literally I have a policy, and there's no way I can
Yeah.
sustain this policy if I didn't understand the mechanics and how it works in my life. But yeah, even if you felt like you were too old, you can teach this, and I say that would be a better mission than just passing on a couple $100,000 on your graduation day. Oh, but that would be okay too, you know.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
wisdom is far more valuable than those
Way
little
better.
dollars that we use just to go through life.
We were bringing that point up last night. Like, let's
Yeah.
say you inherited some money, 5, 10, 20 grand or something. This is a perfect opportunity for
Yeah.
you to take that money and do something constructive with it. And most of us, right? We're going to buy crypto with it, but I mean, kids aren't going to do that necessarily. But we would encourage them to. But you could even start the policy and then buy crypto with the policy.
That's
Just
my
saying.
play. I like
That's-
that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's whew. I love
Yeah.
that. And the great part is if you did that, if you started a policy and you got funds over there, so you get on the base side, and then you got some PUA. It's really building up that cash value very exponentially in a short period amount of time. And let's say you did that for 18 months. And then you took a loan because the price was right on some cryptos. You bought it. And when cryptos do that, when the price is there and you liquidate some, well, now you pay back the loan. Well, theoretically, you got the cryptos for free.
Right. Oh, that's
Whatever
right.
cryptos are left over, it's free. You didn't use your money. The only
Yeah.
part that you actually used your money was giving the insurance company the rights to those funds. If you graduate, that's like literally the only way that you can default this thing. You graduate, hey, death benefits got it paid out. Okay, loans and interest first, and then family gets the check. Like that's literally the only way that I'm aware of. Okay, there might be some other ways. Talk to a authorized practitioner to figure those ones out. But from my viewpoint, I love that.
But there are so many things. Let me just say hello to GA's in the house. We've talked with him recently.
OG Mac.
OG.
Hi, Teresa.
I haven't talked to OG in a long time. It'd be good to catch up. Robert Driscoll. I have not talked to Robert, I don't believe, on the phone yet. And let's see. Oak. Have you talked to Oak, Simon? I don't think we have.
No.
Yeah,
but Oak's got.
Yeah, you have.
I don't think. Have I?
I think you have.
Talked to GA. I've talked to GA. I know I've talked to GA.
Yeah, and I talk to Teresa quite often, actually. So just remember, guys, that when you call us, when you give us your email with your phone number, we're just going to chat. We're going to talk about your dog. We're going to talk about your cat. We're going to talk about what you're doing. It's not just a business call. It's like, hey, what are you up to? What's good in your life? As we all know, crypto is going sideways. We got to do something, right? So we're just trying to set up.
We need another hobby that can improve our lives.
We're just trying to talk you off the ledge here a little bit. There's some people. Oh my God! I talked to this guy the other day at the store, and he was like laughing at me because he knows I have crypto. Ha 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 ha! How about that damn crypto? That thing ain't going nowhere. And he's Mr. Stock Trader guy, And I just laughed. I just laugh at him. I just go, yeah, I know. It's going to zero, right? It was so funny. It's just the one thing I've never been the guy that like enjoys watching other people lose. Like,
Mm.
what sort of emotion is that? That like, oh look, man, your coin went to zero, man. That's so funny. It's like, why would you wish that on someone? It's so weird to me.
It's part of the human problem that's
Yeah,
identified
yeah,
in the book. I
yeah,
know that now. I would probably try to isolate that emotion, but the fact is it's herd mentality,
yeah.
right?
It
Perfect
is.
example. Of this. And my football fans out there, American football fans, or any sports fans, really, you know,
Yeah,
you guys go through the season. Your team didn't make it. Your buddy's team didn't make it. Your cousin's team didn't make it, and you all happen just to not like that team, and you're rooting for them to lose. That's where that comes from. It's like, oh, it's gonna go to zero. It's like, yeah, you're not invested in anything, are you? Not really.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I mean, so I can see where that
yeah.
some of that comes from, but yeah, maybe that's a herd mentality, man.
It is. Yeah, but it's just like you, you think it's funny when somebody loses money? Like, really? Do you think that's like cool? Why would you
Alan,
want that to happen to
Alan, if
anybody?
this happens again, I challenge you first before you
Yeah,
do this. Okay. This is all hypothetical, but I'm throwing an idea your way.
yeah,
What you do is you go out and get some brand new running shoes. Okay, you're gonna have to train up a little bit. I want you running up and down
yeah.
the mountain for a little bit. Okay,
Right.
and if you see this dude in the grocery store again, and he pulls out his card, snatch that and run out the store. Be like, "Ha ha! You lost your money."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All
Well,
right, it was funny. It was more funny in my mind, but yeah,
it was.
that's just
Yeah.
the immature key in me. It's not that
Um.
fun. Um, hey, let's go back to that real quick. You were talking about the small windfall. You know, the policy is great to have for a small windfall.
Yeah.
You get
Right.
10,
Right.
15, 20,000, right? So, from my perspective, I think it would behoove anybody to get this in play and start trying to break off some of your debt chains, so to speak. Okay,
Yeah.
and in process, a windfall comes, you actually now have a place to stick it
Right.
and think
Mhm.
about your next moves. Not and even go through the fantasy crap. Oh, I could do this to my car. I could do this. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I could get the
Yeah.
biggest TV. Right.
Sure.
Like we look, man. It's human nature. We're gonna
That's
do
right.
that. But
Yeah.
but if it takes us a process of, hey, I gotta log on. I gotta see if that's available. Gosh, do I really want to do this? Yeah, I do. Send it to me. Okay, it takes 3 days or maybe business days for them to kind of run their thing. Could be more, and then they either mail you a check or it's deposited into your account. Right? There's all that time for you to go. I don't want to do this. Nope, send it back. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Never mind. I've changed my mind. Right? Before you go out there and you're emotionally high on life and you buy a 90 screen inch TV, and I know we talk about the TV syndrome all the time, but
Yeah.
it gives you that time. But that's one of the things I really really like about this. You got a place to stick it. Also, if let's say you were just using it for some debt, so debt and investments. Okay, so you got rid of some credit cards, right? You're redirecting that debt back to you now, and the interest and the payments all going into your bank now. You
Right.
got some crypto or silver or whatever. Okay, you got some
Mhm.
type of small investment, but you borrow the money from the insurance company. All of a sudden, out of left field, here comes this windfall, right? Well, now you got a place to put it. So it's
Yeah.
kind of
That's
like you
right.
got the thing
Yeah.
first, and then this windfall said, okay, cool, we took care of the tab for you. And it's like, great, I already got the thing that I was wanting to get or do, and not just for fun, but to
Yeah.
build and free me and liberate myself in some way, shape, or form on a financial level.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Well said. That's it right there. That's the sweet spot.
It is
It's
the
good
sweet spot,
stuff.
man. I love it. I love it.
What is that? Laureate 311. Do you think the yen is falling as the catalyst to XRP adoption? No, the yen won't fall too much further. I don't believe. Actually, the dollar's falling now. Isn't that strange? Oh wow, it looks like Japan's gonna lose their yen. Oh boy, everything's in. Then the central bank step in, and then now all of a sudden the yuan and the everything, the euro dollar, everything's going up against the US dollar. You know how it is, guys.
Yeah. I'm a little excited about that, and you know why, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that tonight. Hey, Scott Chapman in the house. There you go, brother. We got.
Where's he at? Where's? Oh, there he. Hey, what? Hey, aren't you supposed to be in bed, sir? I thought you had big plans. Super busy. What? Come on. Good to see you, man. Stay away from those Volkswagens. Stay away from those Volkswagens.
Yeah, and be careful about those texts too on the phone. They can be a little tricky. So we had 2-3 days we've been trying to get this man on the phone with the three of us, and we just can't get it.
Dude. What?
What's that all about?
Yeah.
Anyway,
just you know how it is. That's universe, man. I mean, heck,
I know, right?
I mean, at least we're responding to each other semi frequently. Like,
yeah,
I had email communication with him. I was like, great, and I read. And I was like, oh, cool. And then life came on, and ADD squirrel life. Hey, go to this, go to bed, wake up. Yeah. I was like, oh, hey, there's. But in the back of my mind, it's still there. But yeah, what a challenge it's got to be. But it's funny how that things just happen like that, man.
Yeah, it's good. Good to see you in here.
I know.
We got Money Paradise.
Money P in the house.
Hey, Cody. I haven't gotten a hold of you yet, but are you available? I believe it's Sunday the 15th. We're going to do a meetup over in San Luis Obispo at Brent's house. You got a place to stay, and your house is right on the way, and I could pick you up on the way there and then bring you back the next day. Anyway, just an idea. It's just a quick run.
I can talk to your wife too if you want me to.
Yeah. His wife or my wife?
Either one.
My wife already knows. Yeah.
No, his wife.
Anyway, it's just something we should talk about on the phone there, brother. Okay. Let me address this. Mike, you may have missed it. Send me an email to alstaple@gmail.com. alstaple.com, gmail.com, or Alan Staple, LLAN Staple. And I'll get it. And then you can drop me your phone number and I'll give you a bell. And we can talk about where you're at. It sounds like you're going to be an agent. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm happy for you. And I hope you do good things in life. And just remember to treat people the way you want to be treated, no matter whether they're your client or your friend or whatever else. And then I'm totally down with whatever you do in life. Love it.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So tonight we had, I wrote a bunch of show notes down and none of them look like fun whatsoever. But anyway,
well, I got fun.
What do you got? What do you got for us?
The grocery store story.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay. Let's hear it.
This is for all of you that have read the book at least once. Okay, or at least you're past the grocery store creative thinking. Okay. Now I've listened to the audible of this book multiple times. I'm in the probably the 20s, probably 30s, just for how many times I've listened to it, gone back and then started over and etc. Like it's always playing on my audible, always. But I was reading the book in the grocery store, and what you guys don't know what's being actually done here, and it's so super genius when you figure it out, and you'll see it. But I'm going to give you a little gem. But he is identifying multiple things that he explains at good length in the book, like the human problem, Parkinson's law, Willie Sutton, he who has the goal makes the rules. He also doesn't really he mentions about having a specifically designed contract policy, right? That's also in the grocery store scenario. But one of the things that really, really caught me, and it's literally in the first paragraph, and I want you guys to think about this, because this is part of the problem when we sit there and think in our minds and go, well, it's just my money. Why am I paying myself back? Like it's this wall. Like you get
Yeah.
lost in the simple math or mechanics of things. And I know because I too have a brick on that wall. I know that.
Yeah.
I've got past it. Of course,
Yeah.
so have others. But here it is. Okay. Now, I'll just read it and I'll discuss it. Let's just start from there. Okay. I would like you to examine this process of getting into a business in which you are both the consumer and the seller. I'm going to read it one more time for all the kids.
No, that's right. No, yeah.
I would like you to examine the process of getting into a business. So you're going to get into a business of where you are both the consumer and the seller. If you get into the banking business, you are both a consumer and the seller.
And the owner.
So, and the owner, right? I say seller, but you're the owner. Okay. And as an owner, it goes further on, you should be paying full price at your place, if not more. Why? Because your business makes more money. And when your business makes more money, it creates more opportunities for your business and you. I'm going to stop right there. Let's go back to just you're the consumer and you're the seller. This is where you take a loan from the seller, you, by the way, and then you pay it back. The consumer pays it back to the seller, which, by the way, are both you, plus interest. Guys and gals out there, I really, really want to drive this home. You are worth so much more in this world. You don't even know it. You don't give yourself credit to it. Maybe not as often as you should. I know. I am guilty as charged, literally.
Sure. Yeah.
So paying yourself back with interest is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself because you're treating yourself good.
I totally agree.
Out of everybody in this world, you should be paying yourself the most because when you pay yourself the most, who's going to benefit? Everybody else that's involved with your lives. Everything else you do. You just created the opportunities, future opportunities for yourself just because you loved yourself a little extra.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. I love that. Drive that point home. By the way, that's page 15 for all you people flipping through the books right now. Page 15.
Now, let's say you're in a food truck, okay, and at the end of the day, okay, if there was 3 extra burgers made and you're gonna have to throw them out, well, that'd be one thing, but that would be a different situation. But you could eat the leftovers in that sense. But if you owned a food truck and you wanted to make sure that you stayed profitable, you would want to pay full price for each burger because it messes up your inventory. All of a sudden you're like, hey, wow, I'm making less profit per burger. How come? What's happening here? Yeah. And it's a business you're getting the money back. You're paying yourself with interest. You're going to get it back.
I love this. Okay, so let's back up there because the P thing, don't steal the peace. Oh man, dude, that was a real hard classroom for me for a while. But I'm still learning this. I'm still growing. And I know I'm going to continue, but let's go back to that. So you have a business, it's growing, right? Everybody that you know is paying full price until one day you, or maybe another family member, you let them just take it, not pay, and they go out the back door. Can't do that. But here's why you can't do that. You just interrupted the growth effect. It will never get as big as it could have ever. It's gone. Like, and in the reality, we might be talking about a couple bucks. Maybe it's probably more like a couple $100, depending on how much was gone forever. But that's the difference. So imagine you have the food truck. You're thinking about scaling. Well, every time the free burger goes out the back door. You just slow the progression of that scaling, right? It's going to take a little bit longer now.
Yeah.
Anybody remodeled their home? What happens?
Yeah.
Hey, I can get it done in this amount of time. Then little problems come up. Well, those problems are the slowing of the progression, right? And it costs more money to get the same result, right? That might not be the best analogy, but you slow the growth. Get out of the way, encourage the growth, feed that machine. Everybody pays full price. You pay double. You pay double price.
Your business profits more. That's all that's happening there. Why wouldn't you want your business to profit? You think, oh, I'm going to cut all my buddies a deal and just let them eat out of my grocery store or at my taco truck. You can't do that. You just, that's the best way to go broke you can do. I mean, absolutely. Essentially, I don't want to throw our government under the bus, but essentially that's what we do.
Oh, it's okay. It's been backed up a couple times already.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's essentially what we do. Our government essentially pays $4 to make a hamburger, and they're selling them for $1. That's what our government is doing with their budget.
They charge us $8. And they charge us $8.
Yeah. You can't run a business like that. And if you try to, I mean, your buddies and your friends won't go eat anywhere else. Why would they? They're going to eat there for free. I mean, the next thing you know, you're not selling anything to anybody. Yeah.
or maybe 10 years later, you were selling them bad meat and you didn't know it. Now they got some health or medical issue.
I got the sun coming in on me here.
Look at you. What is that? I got that right there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. We're still 2 hours from sundown, I think.
Yeah, at least. About an hour. Yeah. Yeah. Page 15, man. That was so powerful. And I'm so glad you mentioned about, the food truck, because as soon as I really hit home with the peas, I'm like, I'm stopping the growth. I'm interrupting the thing I shouldn't be interrupting. And that's the compounding. The one thing that's the miracle grow effect. Like, dude, get out of the way and let this happen,
This is an interesting one from
Oak. Come on. Let's go.
Because this is
great
exactly
question.
what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Oak. Let's run the play. Unless Alan wants to take this free base hit.
Go ahead. You got it. You're on.
All right. Cool. Oak, in the real world, okay, if you did this just by yourself, and I've done this, you can charge as much interest as you want. Even with the policy, you can charge as much interest as you want. And in fact, I totally encourage that you charge as much, if not more, than what you're getting charged out on Main Street. So an example of this, okay, stay with me on this one. Let's say you had a policy. You just got it, right? Maybe you're 2 months in. You got about, let's say $500 over to the PUA, right? And now you can do your first policy loan. And you're like, man, where's a good place that I want to stick it? I got a couple options. But you know what? If I took care of this credit card over here, if I took care of that, then it would be gone. I would feel better as a consumer. But then my bank profits because now I'm taking that monthly payment and I'm sending it over to my bank, right? I'm sending it back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There, right? So now, so it does get into interest, well, how much would you charge for that? It's like, well, I'm getting charged 21% over here at JP Morgan and Friends or whoever, right? Yeah. Great. I'm charging myself 44%. Now, some people will be like, whoa, that's a lot of money. It's like, yeah, it is, but it's for you and your bank. It ain't going across the street to them. Dude, at my private banking system, Simon, we're so glad you have the cruddiest credit score in the world. Oh, we are going to charge you a bunch of interest, and I'm so happy to pay it because that's my banking business.
Right.
Yeah, you can charge as much as you want. You can charge as much as you want. I totally encourage it.
Well, I mean, you could. I mean, technically, you could max out eventually, right?
You do have. Oh well. Let's talk about that. Okay, because now you're talking about the placement of that money that was applied to interest. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to stick it into your policy right away. Okay. An example of this, and let's go back to Oak's situation. $400 policy loan takes care of the $400 debt on Main Street. Okay.
Yeah.
His normal payment was $50 that he was sending across the street. Right. So he did, let's say he did $50 plus he put an extra 25 on top. So he sent $75 back to his bank. Okay.
Right.
But before he started sending payments back, his bank, you, and the consumer, also you, came up with a deal, a payment structure of like, hey, I'm going to charge you this much money. You're going to pay us back the $400, and it's going to actually work out to where it's actually going to be $600 total. So you worked out a payment plan on that because, again, you're charging yourself interest. So the $400 eventually comes back, and it goes back to the insurance company. Your $400 that you collateralized is now available for liquidity. But let's say you are capped out for the year as far as how much PUA you can acquire. Okay. So what do you do with the $300 profit, or the $200 of profit, right? 400, 600, paid the 4. We got 2 left over, and we can't put it in our original spot that we were wanting to. You got multiple other places you could put that. I have a PDF Max account. Basically, it's just a side account that's with the insurance company that I can put my premiums over there, out of my reach, my immediate reach, rather. No debit card attached. But if I want that $300 back, I call them up and I get it right back. There is interest on that account as well. You are compounding some interest, but that interest, because of the type of account that it's in, it is taxable. Ask me if I care.
Yeah.
I don't. Why?
No.
Because I'm going to make that. I know I'm going to make that back as soon as it goes into my policy, and I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm ready to go. So, and maybe the $200. Maybe I don't throw it in there. Maybe I'm thinking about another policy that I'm getting going. I'm like, cool. Well, I'm going to put that in a separate bank account that I don't touch, specifically for my next policy, or crypto, silver. You got great options there. But see, now in this moment where you're like, what do I do with the $200? Alan, what seat are you in? Are you the consumer? Are you the bank owner when you're thinking about what to do with the $200 of profit?
You're the bank owner.
That's right. That bank owner is now trying to find another profitable asset to get into.
Yep.
And suddenly you've just joined the big leagues. Very small. But you're in there. So that's why I say charge as much.
You're just constantly opening up new avenues for yourself and new revenue streams, and away you go. And away you go.
Yeah, off to the races.
Got to get lines for that thing or something. It's pretty bad over there. I am that was a long explanation of something.
I know.
Very, very simple. No, I thought you nailed it. I thought you absolutely nailed it, because once you get that concept, then you want to pay yourself. That's what you want to do. And then it gives you evidence of where to put it so that you don't mac out, obviously. But even if you're paying over it now, I have to pay interest on that part of it. Who cares? Who cares what you're doing to your account at that point? Accounts total.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. This is the greatest thing since PB&J.
Here you go, right here.
Yes, absolutely. Is PUA a spot to put your dividends? Yes, that's actually. Now, when I say this, I'm coming from my perspective and what I have heard from others. Okay, but I have this personally within my policy. Yes, I elected the option to take dividends and go right over and buy PUA. And there's a few other options that I can choose later or elect to do, but I've chosen that one specifically. Right? Why? For me, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, get that over there. My money compounding I'm an owner of a insurance company by contract. I get
Mhm.
that dividends. That's my little kickback, my end of the year Christmas bonus money, right? So to speak. It goes, say, nope, put that right back in. Put that
Yeah.
right back in that machine.
Yeah.
Have that money start making me more money to do it again, and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. And when I say make money, it is making money. But the money I'm really talking about is that cash value. I want that to grow and grow, because the more cash value I have through a policy or multiple policies, then the more liquidity I'm able to utilize in my ventures throughout my life, and then hopefully throughout my family's lives, my kids, grandkids,
Yes.
nieces, my nephews, the list goes on.
Yeah. And so to quickly answer the question, the answer is yes. You want to pay PUAs because
Absolutely.
you only have a period of time to do those in, correct, Simon?
Yeah, so to contribute to PUA, yes, but also we're able to still do that for a lengthy amount of time. But again, to really go down that detail, I really recommend you talk to Mr. JV, Scott Chapman, if he's still in the chat as well. But talk to those. You're going to want to talk to an authorized IBC practitioner 100%, because that really gets into the personal insurance information, which this guy's not it. I'm in process, but I don't have the badge yet, so I can't speak on it at length.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, here's another one that's kind of technical. I don't know if that's going to be over our heads or not.
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
How is the policy passed on to our children? Can the ownership of a policy be transferred to others before graduating from Earth? The quick, simple answer is yes. That's how it is transferred to your children. Let me paint the scenario where it's very just easy to understand. It would work like this, GA. If you got a policy on one of your little offsprings there, right? You got a policy on them, okay? In
Yep.
that moment, you own the contract, right? And you can pay. You're paying for that year over year, decade over decade. And when you're really getting close to graduation, that's when you transfer that policy over to them, and then they pick up the ground and keep running the rest of the distance until about they graduate. That's how that would work. And
Yeah.
so, and now I'm going to go one step further. That
Mhm.
windfall that everybody got when you passed, those could also go to start new policies on the next generations beyond them. And it would just be a wash, rinse, repeat move. So the answer is yes, they can.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yeah.
And
In
by all
fact,
means, you do that.
that's a great power play because you don't want the system getting their grubby hands all over it.
Amen. Let's touch on that, okay?
Yes.
Because we're dipping our toe into the passing on to the next generation through private contracts, arguably no taxes happening in there. Okay, I'm sure
Yes.
there's situations where it wasn't handled right and other things, but for the sake of this conversation, it is tax free. Okay, a death benefit payout is just a payout. There's no tax on that. Okay, so now
Right.
imagine this. Your whole life, you're trying to build stuff for your kids and pass your wealth on to them as it comes. These policies give you the ability to do that in two different ways. One, passing on the ownership of those contracts to them, and so on and so forth, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And also your graduation death benefit also can be passed on as they would be beneficiaries in that process. Again, not tax free. I mean, it is tax free because
Yeah. It is.
it's a
Yeah.
benefit. Yeah. So
Which is
this is a great way to pass things on without others getting their hands in the cookie jar. This
that's
is a
right.
great power play. Absolutely.
A big time power play, and it's a huge tax event too. If you don't play it that way, trust me, they are all over when these estate sales and all the rest of it, and they're trying to liquidate because somebody's passed away, and it's like the tax burden upon the families is just. Please do your homework. Please
Yeah.
understand your
Oh,
money. Learn
totally.
about money. You guys need to learn a lot about money, all of you,
Yeah.
including
Yeah.
myself. And when you're not doing that, you're just handing it to the system, because the
Yeah.
system just they've made all these snares and all these traps along the way. And all they're truly trying to do is get the money back that they gave you. Well, that they printed, I should say.
Hmm.
They're trying to get the money back that they inflated the dollar with from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another thing on the kind of the tax side of things. Okay. Guys, this is like some level 3 stuff. Nelson talks about it, the passive
Yes.
income. Okay. And that takes some good study. But I'm gonna talk about it here. Okay.
Yeah.
So full transparency, I'm 25 years old, plus another 20.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so when I get to say 65, 70, that dividends that my policies are still getting, I can actually now take that as cash. It's not age restrictive. I'm just putting that on myself as a temporal marker. Hey, Simon, this is probably when you
Right.
want to start doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
I can take that dividends tax free up until the total amount that I've contributed thus far in my policy. Quick example. Let's say for 20 years, I've contributed total $100,000 to the policy. Okay. I can now take dividends. I can say, no more PUA for dividends. I want that as cash. So now I can take that until I hit that 100 grand, basically.
Yeah.
Is how
Yeah.
that
And it's
for understanding, that's how that works. There's more to it. There's a lot more to it, but just
a
for
lot more
simple
to it.
understanding.
And it's a lot like having a retirement plan almost. If you've got enough in there and you can draw off of it to make your
Yeah.
life comfortable in your senior years, it's huge. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that play. I love that play that's on the screen. That's
This
a winning move. That is a
is a winning
huge
move
winning
right
move.
here.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, Elizabeth and I basically did the same thing because she's 10 years younger than I am. So yeah.
Really? Only 10? I thought it was 20.
Yeah, she yeah. I look a lot older than she does. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what? It's the baseball cap. If you just took it off, we could see your
right.
We could see your surfer boy wavy
Surfer
hair.
boy waves.
Surfer boy wavy hair.
Yeah. That's what I got going on right
That's
there.
what it looks like. It's a poof gone.
Gone.
For aerodynamics, man.
Yeah.
See, that happens when you drive the Porsche too fast.
That's right. I wear a hat. People always ask why I wear a hat, because if you don't, and you do what I do for a living and live where I live, you would not have a head left.
No, you burn. You need the
burn.
hat.
Being a yacht captain, you just wear a hat 24/7. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, this is money move right here with Teresa B. Love you, girl. I get to talk to Teresa and I enjoy it. She and I have, like I do with almost everybody I talk to in our group, I have more of a connection with people when I talk with them on the phone than I do on my videos, but I think it comes through my videos as well. But like what I really love about it is it's so strange to me. I don't know. I've talked to 40 or 50 people, I guess, in the last few months. And it's crazy to me how many of them are coming from the same spiritual, mental place, like almost all of them. And they're eager to learn about money and how we can share these secrets together and figure out what we're all learning together. And it's time, guys. It's really time that we take our money in our own hands. And that's what I love about what Simon and I are doing, Scott and JB are doing, is what we're doing is we're empowering you with the ability to handle this yourself. We're not doing it for you. We're teaching you what you're going to do and how you're going to accomplish your goals. And we're just happen to be, oh, we're not going to just hand you off and just, oh, that's a sales figure. You know, okay, wow, I got a bonus to Hawaii because I sold 10 policies. No, we're not doing that. We're hanging out as a team. We've got somebody to talk to on the phone. That's why I like people. I like people, and I like talking to people on the phone because I'm going to be in the coach.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to be in the coach position. I'm not going to be in the sales position. And I love that. It puts me in the middle of like, oh, they did what? No, we're going to figure that out. We'll figure out why I did it that way.
Alan and I have had lengthy discussions, and if you talk to Alan, you know what I'm talking about. But on this topic of his vision and his vision after he graduates, and so for me, I'm committed to that. I want to be a part of that, and I want to be in that position to where I'm able to continue that. An example of this is, let's just take Teresa's example, right? This or what she's talking about on the screen here, right? Transferring that to her, and then it sounds like there might be another entity that it might get transferred to, but I want to be here for her daughter, right? I might have never had a word. We've never not ever said a word to each other. And the only way that she knows who I am is because of these videos. And Teresa says, oh, you're going to talk to this guy right here or this guy. Like they're Brent, another, we're like the next, we are the next generation to keep this going, for the next 20 plus years. And then our offspring, if they want to, will be, or we'll find the next ones to say, hey, you need to carry this on, because if we don't do that, then this does die out. But you guys got to do your part too. Teach your families this. Money P.
Yeah. It's a tough lesson to explain crypto to people. As we all know, it's almost impossible. They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out after you're stinking rich. It's when they're going to figure it out, and then not a minute sooner. So unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it. But when you do well in life with your crypto, you're going to be able to say, you see this book right here? You see this IBC thing? Okay, Here's how you get yourself out of debt. Here's how you figure out how to be a bank. Because they're going to listen to you then, because you're going to be on the other side of the financial place that they want to be, and they're going to be looking for wisdom. They're not going to just go, oh man, I missed out on the crypto thing. You guys all got rich without me. That's not what they're going to do. What they're going to do is they're going to say, wow, you were smart enough to figure that out. How can you help me? And this and the trusts and many other things that we're going to go down over this next year or 2 or 5, and then passing it on to Brent and then, Money Paradise and other people who are the
Money P
generation,
absolutely,
who are going to just say, oh man, I get that. I can help you with that. Sure. No problem. Here, let me show you how it works. And this is what you can do. Let me see your financials. Oh, by the way, when somebody says, I want to see your financials, that doesn't mean they're giving your bank accounts. It's like, well, how much in debt are you here? Give me the ballpark number. I don't need the account number. Just show me, paint the picture so I can help you solve the problem. Yeah.
Right. That's right. It's no different than you. Actually, it's probably a little bit better than you doing the situation that I'm going to describe right here. It's like when you call a mechanic up and you go, yeah, my car's not starting. It did. And the mechanic's like, okay. What happened before? It's that, right?
Yeah.
It's far better than that, but it's the mechanic. You need the mechanic. You need someone to be there to do that with you and for you. And
what's going to happen is what happens to me. It's like as soon as people find out that I'm a boat captain, they go, or yacht captain. The first thing they ask me is like, what's the coolest place you ever been? Or the second thing they ask me is, hey, I'm having this problem with my boat. Do you think you could figure it out for me? You know, in other words, you're going to be the person that's financially
Yeah.
figured out what your
Yeah.
life is. And they're going to get, your friends and family are going to come to you and go, hey, how did you do that? Like, you know, don't tell my wife or my friends that I'm here. I want to just sit down and talk with you. You'll be at the golf course, or you're going to be at the park, or you're at a beach, or whatever you're doing, hanging out, skiing, whatever your thing is. And they're going to go, man, how did you get there? How did you get from where you were to where you are? And it's not just going to be because crypto made you rich. It's because you were smart enough to watch shows just like this one, who are willing to help people learn what we're learning at the same time. That's why we call it, you know, it's a study. Yeah.
Study group.
Yeah.
It's
not a
it's
sales
all day,
group.
every day.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a, would you say it's not a sales group?
It's not a sales group. No, it's a study
well,
group.
okay. I mean, maybe. I would say it's a sales group, and we're trying to sell you on the good side of life. It's there.
That's right.
It's very much there. We're learning about it every day. Every time we pick up this book, other books, we look at crypto stuff. Anytime we're doing research, that's the good side of life. So we have to protect it.
It truly is. Yeah.
No sales here. You know, GA had a comment there. I'll just read it. Nobody listens to me because they don't see me driving a Lambo. Funny how total strangers are the ones following me, and they are doing really good. Facts. You know, I've talked to a few family members. It's like, and I've said this verbatim. How come when are you going to do this? Right. I've said, when are you going to get into this? Like, oh, when you've made it. I'm like, you do understand that'll be too late, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you'll just do this for me. I'm like, are you sure? Have you seen me out in the real world? You do know I'm family, right? You've seen me in my bad times. Like, that could come out at any moment. You know,
that's right.
The point of that is like, dude, if I keep telling you go, and you don't, how willing am I going to be like, hey, you didn't listen to me. Here you go. Good job. Like,
no, that's right.
Dude. Yeah. Have you done that to me? No. Not like that. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
Zip? Yeah. Is that the Zip?
That is the Zip.
Yeah, what's good, man?
Yeah.
We are all learning and defeating arrival syndrome. Absolutely. Every day. Got to keep growing. Otherwise, if we stop, we have arrived. Yeah. And that frequency attracts others that are ready. Absolutely. Yep.
I've never had anything in my lifetime prove it more to me than this channel. This channel of like-minded people. And when you contact me and you talk to me and you're just like, wow, like you're just like in your videos. It's like, well, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? Like, this is who we are. That's why when Brent and I finally said, we're going to make this channel, right? I called him one night and I said, son, you know what? You know why people are going to watch this channel? Because they're going to sense it. It's not because of what we're going to say or who we are or what we look like. It's because they're going to feel it. They're going to understand it, and it's going to ring true in their lives. And then it's like, and I think I even gave them the old line of, if we build it, they will come. And I think I even gave them that. It's like, people will come. Why? Because they want to resonate with somebody who's just in the same boat. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to talk about the if you build it, they will come thing after the show, because I got a woo thing to talk to you about on that. And I just find that awesome that you said that just now. Nice. That's great. I love that.
By the way, I have a hard stop here tonight.
We got about 15 more minutes to go. Yeah. Let's see here. You know, a little step back on the grocery store story.
We got slaving.
When he's explaining the grocery store and going through the process, there's a point in there where he says, you start it all by studying what the grocery business is all about, all the things that are necessary to be successful as an entrepreneur in the field. Okay, I'm going to pause right there, and we're going to just delete the word grocery business, and we are going to insert banking business.
Yep.
Because that's what we're building. So
Yeah.
start studying what the banking business is all about and all the things that are necessary to be successful as an entrepreneur in that field, aside from the physical retail place and a physical safe. Let's delete that. You need to see how the system was work. There's that grocery store example is great because he hid the whole book in the grocery store example, like literally the whole book.
Yeah, he did.
He
Yeah.
did. It's genius. Like, seriously, can't wait to be on the other side to give that man a holy hug. Like, you're awesome. You sneaky fox. That's great. Yeah. I was really happy.
He figured it out.
I like stuff like that, man. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Excuse me.
The dogs are acting up all of a sudden.
I know. I gotta shut my door. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Yeah. So again, guys, I really want to talk about what Simon and I are doing here is up to you to really pick the ball up. We can't do this for you. It's sort of like crypto. You're the one that pushed pi. You ended up with the bag you have, and you're grateful for it. I'm sure of it. And it's you that's going to make this happen. But if you just apply just a little bit, we can give you some guidance and we can help you. And if you have questions, you're going to have my phone number. You're going to have Simon's phone number. You're going to have JV's phone number. And you're going to be able to just say, hey, whoa, can I use it like this? Yeah, I think you can. Sure. Let's make sure. Oh, yep. We'll get back to you. Yes, you're going to be able to do it like that. But what that's going to empower you to be is your own bank. And the most important thing about being your own bank is you've got a place to store your money. And you have a place to borrow money for other avenues of income. And that's really where we're headed. We're laying the groundwork right now at school. We're in class, okay? But it's just a study group, but you're learning where we're headed. And I'm serious. I have a 5-year plan that's going to really affect a lot of people's lives, because we're not just helping you become a bank. We're helping you become a business. I'm so excited for where we're going, guys. You're going to love this.
We got another interest question there, just for a heads up. And I'm going to try to. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Is there a cap on how much interest you can charge yourself when a loan is taken? The answer is there is no cap. Okay. When you charge yourself interest, okay. And I mean that you charge yourself. Here's how the play really works. Okay. I take a policy loan from the insurance company. They're going to charge me a rate of interest, but it's simple interest. If you don't know what simple interest is, hop on ChatGPT. He'll tell you all about it. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean, once you get it, you'll see it and you go, oh, hot dang, what a deal. It is a deal. It's a great deal. So you have a loan now. As a bank owner, you have a loan now with the insurance company. Now, in that same motion, you're going to hand that money off to you, the consumer. Remember the grocery store scenario that I gave up. Okay. But before you hand that money over to the consumer, you're going to say, hey, Mr. Consumer, I'm going to charge you 50% interest on this money. Okay, great. And so how that works is when the consumer pays you, the bank owner, by the way, that's the same person, but it just works like this. Here you go. Okay, thank you. Well, what happens here is when it's in the banker's hand, that difference in interest, meaning the amount of money that first goes back to the insurance company, that interest plus principal, whatever's left over goes to the bank. And this goes to the insurance company. That's how that kind of works. I was going to write this out on little whiteboard stuff. We should probably do it
No,
just to
I
kind of
love
see
it.
some numbers. But that's it. You can charge yourself as much interest you want. And Brad DJ5 or Brad
Yeah.
J5, sorry. You can even practice these principles right here. First, do the pay yourself first protocol. Pay yourself 10%. You get a paycheck, take 10% out of it, get it in cash, bring it home, and have a little pile. Do that
Yeah.
for a month, and then take one small loan from that pile and charge
Mhm.
yourself interest.
Mhm.
And when you make that payments back, whatever the interest is, 10%, let's say, well, then your little pile just grew because you, the pile owner, charged you, the debtor, 10% interest. And now that pile grew a little bit. Try that. There you
That's
go.
right.
Bit off topic. Go for it, Alan.
Okay. Luke, I understand what your question is here. And I'm going to also talk about your follow up to it. One of the things that you may or may not know about banks, and we talk about on the show a lot, is something called BOLI. And BOLIs are bank owned life insurance. Banks make more money by the ownership of life insurance than any other avenue. They make more money than you can imagine. I'm talking hundreds of percent on their money. They are a cash cow when they invest in such things as life insurance. This is an inside deal. Most people don't know that. It happens in the real estate market, it happens in the bond market, it happens in many different markets. Okay. But the big thing that you need to know about when your money's in a bank, yes, it is liable to take over and the rest of it. Don't worry about that right now. Okay. I'm not saying that the bank system is safe and it's not going to implode. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the banks are making way more money than you think. Way more money. Okay. What they're telling you their profit margin is what I'm going to call retail knowledge. That's not their wholesale or corporate level profits. Okay. So the corporate level profits is actually when a bank starts to go under, gets extracted to another bank. And then that's when you get the FDIC and you get your $100,000 and all the rest of that is part of their settlement of that massive amount of money that's actually in the bank that they don't show on the books in the public. Just an inside baseball deal there. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all get some mail from your bank every now and again. Hey, you've qualified for free insurance, a $2,000 policy that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
No medical check. It's all good. We got your back, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, you read this book here, you're like, you slick, greasy wheels.
Wheels. All of you. Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so when these people come together and they say, oh, okay, all right, we're going to give a home loan. It's the last thing they want to do. You think that's how they're making their money? That's not how they're making the money whatsoever. It's how they make their money is outside of that. Okay. So one other thing, you are being leveraged to a degree, which is exactly how this book came to be. This is what R. Nelson Nash figured out. He figured out that the systems playing you on the retail level hardball. They are taking advantage of all of you. Isn't it funny that the bank gets to create money out of thin air, but you have to give them real money, the 10 or 20% down on a home, and they get to fictitiously say that they have the other 90 write the check, which is not their money, doesn't come out of their banking account, and they give you they keep the deed until you pay the whole thing off. That's the scam. It's a control mechanism more than it is a profit thing for them. And I don't want to get too deep in that, but yeah, that's essentially what I'm talking about here.
I would like to do just a quick response to Brad J5. Brad J5, I'm a Washingtonian. I left my email down there. If you want to chat, just email me and give me your number, and I'll hit you up tonight. anybody else that would like to too. But
Yeah,
you know what,
anybody.
Alan is much more exciting on the phone. I'd blow his email up. Go for it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I've allotted 4 or 5 hours a day to just talking to anybody that needs some. I'm not going to call it guidance, but I'm going to say, hey, I'm really thinking about this, Alan. Does this sound stupid? No, that does not sound stupid.
I
But
love that. I love those calls. Those are
yeah,
great calls.
no, me too.
I don't know if
I
Dale's
really
in the
do.
chat, but Dale in North Carolina, man, I talk to that guy all the time. We're always talking
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. It's awesome. Let's see. Doreen, yeah, please give us email me. I know it's old school, but Al Staple at gmail.com.
Good.
And
Hold on, let me I'll put
can
it
you
at
give us a quick answer to Dave Ramsey? So, let me just say this. I'm going to say this again for the millionth time. Dave Ramsey, in my opinion only, gives some of the worst financial advice I've ever heard. Ever heard. Okay. Like, I understand the way he does it, but he's playing on everybody's negative emotions. He's not teaching you what to do with your life and your money to make your money grow at an astronomical rate. He's not doing that. You know what he's doing? He's telling you to save your damn money. Not live your life today, save your money and not earn anything with it until you've got a big enough pile to change your life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just a failure. That's a complete failure of using money to the way the wealthy do, the way business does, the way industry does, the way banks do. All of that is what we teach in this. So no wonder he doesn't get IBC. No wonder. Yeah. And I saw the dumb little show he did on it. Just
let's go back to a little bit back in this episode. Who is this not for?
Nobody.
Okay.
Of course.
For everybody. Who is this? Yeah. Who won't this work for? Well, might not work for this individual, and you have to ask why.
Yeah.
It's that perspective. Zip has great advice. Up a little bit more. A word of caution: study, and be careful who you listen to and how they are interpreting how to build a policy. There are some very specific videos out there that are strictly follow the book. Absolutely, it's very specific, and it's custom made to fit your current lifestyle to be sustainably growing over time.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. That's this here. It'll work. It'll work for most.
And when you get that part of it, your mind will get creative on different ways to use it and to profit with it and to build a set group. There's many of us that have already met together and we're like, okay, I can't wait till we all have a decent little chunk of money. And then we can all we can move our money around together and we can learn more and more about how to make money with our money safely and securely and without a con man in between us. Right. It's who needs it?
I want to. Brad says he missed my email. I'll put it out there one more time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can punch it up there.
Okay.
Okay, this is an important question. Okay, it's kind of a statement. Yes, because we know what we own in crypto. Now, what we need to do with crypto is take our two hands and sit on them. Okay, that's it. Leave it alone. Don't day trade it. That's going to create a tax event for yourself. Where I'm going to go with the trust channel, I'm going to have another school night, and it's going to be all about trust. And I'm having professionals come in, and they're going to help us, and they're going to help you with all your detailed questions. And I'm going to have them constantly, and it's going to be something you're going to learn about how trusts work. but I really want to do this in steps because this IBC thing is exactly as powerful as this Joseph's statement here. I do believe it's every bit as important to the rest of your life as crypto. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah.
In fact, it is. In fact, I can't get someone sold on crypto. Okay, get them to see what I see. I'm having good success with this part right here.
Yeah.
You know, in retrospect. Now, crypto people, we're already ahead of the class because we're into crypto. We have an open mind. We see the problems, not all of them, but some in this world. And so, yeah, you know.
Okay, wait a minute. We got this is not an accurate statement.
JVs is IUL. Actually looked at it, but there are some inherent experts. Are you talking about Coach JV there, Zip? Could be Coach JV.
No, that's Coach is Coach JB, isn't it?
J Victor, Coach JV.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't want an IUL, guys. If somebody's trying to put you in an IUL, this is not what we're discussing here tonight. We're not doing it like that. I'm not saying that it's not functional for a lot of people because they could be, and
Coach JV. Coach JV.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah, he's got that. You put that up on the screen so all the people that might be listening, not listening. Yeah, that's who Zip is talking about. Thank you. Appreciate your open and honesty, Zip. Man, no more going to Jersey for you, by the way. Okay.
I know. I can't believe
in fact, we're going to notify you first.
Dude.
Okay, we're going to notify you.
I cannot believe we missed that guy. That was just blowing.
Man. Awesome person. Oh, there you go. Brad J5. There it is. And if anybody else would like to jot down the email, it is Simon Says SEZ_crypto at protonmail.com. Just give me an email. Tell me where you saw me. Of course, if you got a handle, please remember the handle because I do watch the chat. But if you say my name, my name is John D from Massachusetts, and I'm running for a seat. I might go, well, okay, who are you? So yeah, feel free to email me. Again, Simon Says _crypto. That's SEZ_crypto at gmail or at protonmail.com. No Gmail. Sorry.
Man, the chat is just cooking and I gotta go. I did wish I didn't have to, but we got to get going here, guys.
Yeah, you got work to do, brother.
I do, man.
I don't see
any last words for everybody here tonight, Simon?
If you don't got the book, get the book. Okay. And if reading is not your cup of tea, no pun intended. Get the Audible. Get that Audible, man. Like honestly, that's how I started. Get that Audible. Mm-hmm. Get these sayings that are a lot of the one-liners that are in this book. You know, they'll resonate with you. I'm telling you. That's probably the best. And keep talking about this. Keep bringing your questions, like all of them, because I went through literally a solid 18 months of having everyday conversations on this topic. I watched videos. I watched other videos. Does this make sense? Now that doesn't sound like what I'm hearing in the book. You know, maybe that is like it's a constant growth thing. So just keep doing it one day at a time, one page at a time, one video at a time. You know, this thing is very important to be in, but not so much important that you skip the understanding and you'll worry about it later. Not right move. These are the seeds for our future. And for our kids' future and whatever else. We might be in a charity work. Maybe we don't got no kids, don't have no family, right? But you're into you help healing this earth. You ain't gonna do it if you screw up how to put fruit on the tree year over year forever. You know, so that's my wisdom, my man. How about you? What do you got?
No, I like that. That's good. I really think we're at a time, guys, where there's a lot going on in the world, that maybe a lot of people are stuck in a very negative moment, and they get stuck with the evening news, and that just tells them something's bad. And then you get rolling down that this is bad and this is terrible and these times are terrible and all this is just terrible. There's people out there like Simon and I and JV and many other people that I'm going to introduce you people to over a period of time that are going to blow your minds, because they're the kind of people that you don't have to talk to. Not that I have any problem with people with an Indian accent, but you're not going to talk to somebody that doesn't have your best interest on their mind. And hopefully you are going to resonate with them, and then you're going to have a lifelong partnership with these people, because they're going to teach you some tools that I've learned and that I'm still learning every day that are going to change your generational wealth. We keep throwing that term around in crypto, but that's a lie. Just getting rich is no better than being a lottery winner. That's all. I'm going to say 99% of the people that get rich with crypto are going to be broke in 5 years. And that's unacceptable to me. It's just uncalled for. And you don't have to be one of those people. It's time you take your finances in. And you know what? There's so many great people out there. I know there's like Jake and there's all these other people, and they all are doing a great job. The difference is I'm doing it differently. I'm doing it differently because I want to set up a personal relationship with you, and I want you to understand what you're doing. I'm not doing it for you. You're doing it. And people like Simon and I are going to help you do it. So with that, guys, I think I've got to get out of here because I got stuff to do tonight.
Yeah, you
do. We will.
I'll share the woo thing next week. I'll share the. There was a couple comments. I'll share my woo thing next week.
That'd be cool. Yeah. We always throw a woo story in there. We didn't tonight. Well, I don't know what that's all about.
No, all right, guys. We're still talking.
All right, guys. Until next Tuesday, we'll see you. Well, we're going to see you. I'm going to see you in a video real soon, tomorrow morning, actually.
You're going to see me tomorrow on the Dippito Let's Talk Crypto show. Feel free to stop by. It's live at 5 West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, don't miss that. Who do you have as a guest?
We're actually going to be talking about the RLUSD stablecoin. Goes live tomorrow, I believe. So we're gonna chat that up and talk stablecoins.
Cool. Very cool. So don't miss that, guys, with our brother Simon here. And I hope you all have a great evening and be safe out there. We